Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to this edition of Face the Nation. It is the 30th day of May 2025. We are coming to the end of this particular month. And of course, the question is, what are some of the things that you have achieved in the month? Remember, we are into the second quarter of the year. That means we're entering another cycle as we enter June. That means we are halfway the year of 2025. We are streaming live at the Alternative Uganda and at Digitalk TV right here in Kampala. I am at Makerere University, one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious university in Africa. And this evening, I'm going to be having a conversation with Mr. Churchill James Churchill, the 91st Guild President of Makerere University. We touch base on some of the issues that are happening here. And of course, we look at the first roughly 100 days in office. What is there to register? What are some of the challenges? And of course, how better can this institution be? We also look at the grand scheme of politics in the country. How better can our politics be, especially as we are gearing up for the 2026 elections? Feel free to send me your question, comment, query, anything through our social media platforms at the Alternative Uganda at Digitalk TV. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. Allow me to welcome you. It's a privilege to be here at Makerere.
Thank you,
You're
Edgar.
most welcome, Churchill.
Thank you so much, Edgar.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. How okay are you? Quantify okay.
Generally, I think my life is okay, and my work is okay, my school is okay, my family is okay. So I guess I'm a happy man, to be honest.
Yeah, you talk about the core elements of life, really. But let's start with the business at the university. I saw it's a bit conducive and cool. How is the entire ambience right now at Makerere?
Well, at the moment we are in holidays, and a great percentage of the students are at home.
Yeah.
However, we have a sect of students that are having recess, that are residing in the university. Then the others probably have internship. Yes.
Okay. You had a rather rigorous campaign period, and it was mad with a lot of news. Yeah, you had a lot of news around you. How has it been for you after now you are in office? How does it feel? Do you want to explain the feeling to our viewer?
The feeling of the campaign or
No,
the
after now. Aftermath,
Well,
how you are doing now, how everything is.
it's just that satisfaction. You know, when you do a certain job, for example, if a farmer woke up one day, cultivated his land, put the seeds, watered them, and the seedlings sprouted, yeah, then that's a plus. You feel that satisfaction. So these are some of the fruits of my hard work. So I just feel a satisfied man, and I feel this sort of sufficiency for myself, and even further motivation to work even harder for better things. Yes. So basically, I'm in a position where I appreciate having taken the initiative to stand, to campaign. Basically, yeah.
Isn't it heavy being the guild president of Makerere?
I wouldn't be the guild president if it was heavy for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is just incumbent upon how you package yourself for the role. Nothing is too big for me, to be honest, because if I put my head straight to it, there have been people before me that have succeeded, and I don't think I'm any different.
I'm saying you're leading people with diverse minds. Some don't believe on you. Some may believe in you. They are young. They are charismatic. They are big-headed. I imagine that it can be tedious sometimes. How do you deal with the tediousness?
You see, in an event where you're faced with trying to bring different ideas together, like people of different mindsets, people that don't resonate with what you do as an individual, all you have to do is offer leadership, show them direction. Okay, let them take it if they actually want to. We see with guild presidency, you're dealing with things that are already existent.
Yes.
Student concerns, administrative policies. So all you have to do is to basically try to do those basics right. When you do the basics right, the other things are only individual character traits that you have to deal with. So the tediousness comes in, but it's expectant of our job.
Yeah, I get
So
you. It comes with the job
you
itself. It's the
expect
JD.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So you are now operating, and you've talked about some of the issues that you are a student leader, but what was your vision personally for the university for this 1 year? How do you want Churchill James Church to be remembered?
Yes, I'm looking at this university 20 years ago when student concerns were prioritized over any other administrative policy, where students were regarded as the biggest stakeholders in the university, which they probably are. So basically for me, it is to try and take us back to where students are heard, okay? Where, yes, other business runs as a university, but the students must be satisfied in their university. They should feel like we are at a university, and the university should treat the students here as university students. Yes.
How far are you in achieving that vision?
Well, you see, I got elected 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And certain things take time to change.
Exactly.
So I've had a few engagements with the different stakeholders, council members, the vice chancellor, trying to show them that, hey, look, this is right, but there is a better way to do it, okay? And you see, with the bureaucracy around, it takes time to change certain things, like policies that were made, the constitution, this guild statute. Basically, and remember, you had examinations again. So I didn't have too much time to come and create certain changes. But come August, I believe we shall have a very different university from what it was 1 year ago.
Okay.
Yes.
And you see, that's what I want to know, the difference because you've hinted you're just starting, which is understandable well, but every leader is tracked by the first 100 days in office. So I want to first only track the first 60 or so days that you have been in office. What are the things that you can say? We can talk about this.
You see, for many years, students in year one have not been given the chance to stand for leadership positions. In my senior six, I was the president of my high school. That is St. Julian Gayaza.
Wow.
I was leading over 5,000 students. And I come to university, you tell me I cannot be a GRC of a school with 2,000 students or a GRC of a hall with 500 students because I'm in year one. Well, we have made progress with that, and probably next year students will stand in their year ones.
That's good.
We didn't have social events. There was a padlock bestowed upon, put on these social events because of a few things here and there. If the university is a multi-dimensional social area whereby, yes, we're coming to study, but we relate. Sometimes this place becomes our home.
Exactly.
You know? People meet their wives here, their husbands here, their future business partners. So when they cannot socialize, you make some of these things difficult. So we've equally tried to tackle the university policy that has held social events back, and we're trying to, integrate them slowly by slowly back into the system. Let students have that freedom. It even serves us a lot. We see when a student has an assurance of maybe a party on Friday at the university, they don't have to go to bars. You understand? I've been stressed the entire week. Where can I go? You're having a guild party over the weekend. You can do that rather than going to the bar, getting addicted to certain things, getting challenges with traveling. So basically, we're trying to bring that life here for them. However, in a more appropriate way. Then the other thing is students that actually need to have tuition waivers because they've failed to raise tuition before the start of examinations. They're like, hey, some parents fail to get this money. 53% of Ugandans live below the poverty line. And in those 53%, families have students at this university. You know? So it is unfair for you to say that you want these people to get you 2 million on this specific date.
Yes.
Some people don't make 2 million in half a year. Okay, but they have students at university. They have to take loans
in a year.
In a year as well. So we're like, hey, let students do exams with maybe 60% of their tuition. And we've achieved that. Last year it was temporary. Today it's a policy now. So it's a policy because I engaged the VC and the council members. They're like, I think it's reasonable enough. Okay, we are running a public institution where we don't need to privatize everything. So we're trying to move, basically.
Kudos on that. I was interacting with some of your students, some of the students you lead, and they feel you have a soft demeanor. You are too eloquent. You are too engaging. You said you were engaging, and the policy in the country is that's not a style. They feel like it's less impactful in a way. Maybe can you be more vibrant? Can you strike? Can you turn tables around? What do you think about that modus operandi, that type of politics in the country?
What students want is services delivered to them, not how I get them delivered. So you see, the ends justify the means. Okay, if you want to turn tables to have tuition waiver, I'll go and sit on a table and you get the tuition waiver. You see, in an institution like Makerere University today, on certain occasions, you may not achieve what you want by turning tables, having this direct confrontation. Even if I want to believe at some point it gets too much, but I'm not yet there where I think it is too much.
Won't you be pocketed by the administration?
I am of a strong resolve. Okay.
No, because they know this one is soft. We can pocket him.
What can possibly go wrong? And I mean, on what ground would you pocket me? Like, what are you promising me that I've not seen for you to make me think that what I believe in is not what is actually right? Okay. If they cannot intimidate you, they'll try to bribe you. I'm just saying these are just modes of trying to get to people in my position, but mine is to stick to the plan, stick to the manifesto, try to deliver some of these things. So I have only 1 year as guild president, and I want to create a lasting impact. on
One
the
would say
students' lives.
lasting impact means you led a student strike. You can say we know guild presidents here, and we only know them because of that reason alone.
But
right?
you see, by the time when Makerere University used to strike a lot, the ratio and the rate at which Makerere University students were admitted for work was very low. You come with a transcript, Makerere University, with a first-class degree. I come with a transcript of a second-class lower from Chambogo, and I'll be admitted to work because of the nature of the university I'm coming from. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Today it has increased significantly because the culture has been modest. It is very myopic for us to think that Makerere University is all about striking. Okay.
No,
This is-
it's not about
when
strike,
you
but
step
one
to
would
see-
say that that's how you get things done.
No.
That's how your voice. In fact, it's not about Makerere. I think it's a culture of the country that when you have a soft demeanor, you're looked at as weak.
And the leaders up there are the ones that are making it look like that. Why must I first fight to get what I deserve? You understand?
Okay.
Let what I deserve be given to me. The Bible says, Jesus told the Israelites that give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar,
And to Caesar.
and what belongs to God to God. Give me what belongs to me without me having to fight for it. Okay? But if it means to fight, after all possible means have been exhausted, we shall try and look at those avenues. But we shall use the soft demeanor because this is a modern world, my brother. You're putting on a suit today, you would have come maybe with a spear and backcloth. I mean, this is not who your grandfathers thought you would ever be.
Exactly.
You understand? So
Yes,
move with the trend, basically.
Thank you so much. You're still watching Face the Nation. I am with Mr. Churchill James Churchill, the 91st Guild President of Makerere University. You speak like you've read The Art of War or 48 Laws of Power, because the best win is not to even indulge in the battle itself. So you only indulge in the battle when there is need to.
Exactly.
But tell me about your challenges, some of the challenges you're facing.
I think the biggest challenge is students perceive you in a certain type of way as guild president. They think you can get everything done. They think there's unfair criticism. Okay, and of course, you know, if 12,000 students voted and only 3,400 voted for me, it means over 8,000 did not. You get my point?
Yes, please.
So you're having a problem trying to make these people believe that you are better than their candidate. Of course, you're 3,400 are there. You have to be the leader for all.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
understand? For all the 35,000 students. So of course there will be people trying to poke, but ours is trying to stay composed. Okay. So one of the biggest challenges is there's always unfair criticism. People trying to get loopholes here and there. There's constant power struggles. But I believe we are put here for a purpose, and I'm actually here, yes, because students voted for me, but even because there's a supernatural backing on my end.
Yeah, of course. There's always an anointing on someone to
Exactly.
lead. It does not come by mistake. Let me come to that particular issue of some people believe that your family is influential, especially in the politics of the country, right? You are a nephew to the leader of opposition, de facto Bobi'S Kyagulanyi, and your father, Mr. Ssentamu, Freddie Nyanzi, sorry, has been in the politics of the country. Are you trying to be a new you?
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
I mean,
Because why I asked you that, because I've realized there is a way you were, even when you came to power, you did not come with a political party of your family. Why are you trying to be different?
I'm not trying to be different. I'm just trying to be independent. We can't be different because probably the end goal is one desired goal. Okay. And that is seeing a better Uganda. Okay. But the idea is I've lived too much in the shadow of my family, you know. All due respect to them. I'm 23 years now, and I had nothing to show for it. Okay, you're grown up, you're getting everything from your father, your mother.
But aren't you?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Maybe support, prayers, blessings, and a few things here and there. But basically, right now, I can stand and say I am Churchill Ssentammu. You didn't know me 1 year ago. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
But if they introduce me as Chairman Nyanzi, and you'll be like, oh, Mtabani wa Nyanzi. You
Yes,
get my point?
I get you,
But
sir.
today the whole country is like in the know of who I actually
But
am.
I'm saying, aren't you disadvantaging yourself? Ronald Reagan or the Reagan family, you know presidents come from that family. So aren't you disadvantaging yourself
If
by,
it is-
by coming off as manly and saying, yeah, I'm independent. Yes, you're independent, but isn't this working less in your favor?
If it was working less in my favor, I wouldn't be guild president. If I needed to have that kind of backing for me to become, then I wouldn't have. You get my point? So I'm only advantaging myself for myself as an individual. You get my point? Yes, I'm trying to go on an adventure where I believe with whatever they're doing, yes, but I'm equally living in a world of my own. You get my point?
I do.
Yes. So I don't think I'm disadvantaging myself. I believe with the God that I serve, if anything is meant for me, it will come to me.
Exactly. But isn't that alienating you in the family?
No.
Like,
With you see,
because you see why we say that. You remember when you refused to resign from your position after meeting the president, you had a lot of backlash from social media, from the Nook foot soldiers, and I think even your father had to record a video. So doesn't this alienate you when you sit among your family?
now you're mixing up two things. You see, the video that my father made came before the resignation rumors, and no one asked me to resign, so I did not refuse to resign. It was a suggestion. Over, you may resign.
Oh.
So it wasn't like you resign. It was like over, you may. So I want people to know that NUP, Firebase, A to Z, Vibrations, Dream Studios, Kibs, that is Irene Kayemba company, they are all different from the Ssentamu family.
How?
Because when we come back this side, I don't see president as there.
Hey.
I see uncle as there. You get my point?
Yeah, I get you.
And there's this distinguishment between how we treat one another as family and how maybe work is supposed to go. For example, if I'm an artist that is not doing quite well, okay, and I'm singing but songs are not okay, and for Kibs is promoting stars.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Because I'm related to Irene Kayemba, it doesn't mean that I have to automatically get support from Kibs. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Irene Kayemba would have a business strategy. Okay? How she wants the business to operate.
Yes, sir.
And if I don't fit in that line, maybe she wouldn't, even if she badly wants to, but because of the associates that she has, she would not want to look nepotic in a way.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yes, yes.
So it is the same thing everywhere. Yes, probably business or these institutions would have a different idea from you, the individual, who comes from this particular family.
Yes.
Mind you, yes, being president is big, but you don't own the party. There are structures.
It's a public
Exactly.
institution.
It is owned by probably 40 million Ugandans.
Yes.
Okay. So you take decisions on behalf.
You're a servant.
Yes. So you do not, even if I became a party president tomorrow,
Yes, sir.
I would have to serve on the independence or on the dependence of what the greater goal is. Okay? If we believe you are a better candidate than my brother, and you have served us more than my brother has, you will deserve to get the party ticket.
Which was the case for you?
No, that is different with me. I've told people time and again that Makerere University is independent of political parties, and it is not allowed here. What I didn't get was support from the party. No one ever was on a ballot paper with an umbrella or a bus or a key or a hole.
Yeah, you see, political parties are not really about the sign. It's the heart.
No.
It's the heart sometimes.
So you want to tell me that I don't have it at the heart anymore? You've checked my heart already, sir.
That's what I'm asking. What is in that heart?
I mean, change, desire for change, regardless of how it comes. You
Okay.
get my point?
I'm getting your point.
Exactly.
I'm still with Mr. Ssentamu James, and I'm having an insightful conversation. Let's talk about the politics of the land. What do you think is Uganda's biggest problem when you look at the politics and the knowledge you have of this country?
Misuse of office. And of course, the biggest is corruption. And you see, office is entirely responsibilities, modus operandi, you know, and how to manage public funds. Okay, so Uganda's biggest problem, I would say, is that certain people in certain offices have failed to live up to those expectations. And when these systems are faulty, then the country will equally look faulty as a whole. Yeah. Exactly. For example, if in a family, the mother comes back drunk, who is supposed to take care of the children, teach them about God, let me say, prepare them for school in the morning. If I came back late at night at 2 p.m. and I failed to wake up at 5 to prepare the children, they'll fail to go to school that day. Yeah. And they'll be like, oh my God, those kids are bad kids, they don't want to study. But it's because this one mother has failed to live up to her expectations as a mother.
Yes, I do get you.
So it is entirely upon the people that hold positions of influence, positions of power, that have failed to transmit that effectiveness and efficiency to the other smaller organs that actually deal directly with the people.
It's a people problem, because why I'm thinking about it is we pick the best from our kind. Like how University Makerere picked the best and they felt Churchill is the best. So we pick the best and they're the ones that run the country. So to what extent is it an individual problem or a general society problem? Because you also hinted on corruption. You look even down here, for one to give you a vote, you have to pay something, in quotes, right? So to what extent is it a systematic people problem rather than our leaders themselves?
You see, of course, some people are voted into power. Okay, some are not. You see, with bureaucracy, certain positions are never contested for. And there are some of the positions that make certain decisions. I don't want to speak about who is voted and who is not voted but has power. That is not my role. I don't actually know what happens with that. Okay, but even when you're voted into power, for example, and you probably aren't the best of the lot that stood, it is incumbent upon you to now shift and try to operate for the better. Okay, it's patriotism. Have love for your country. Okay, have the love to see your country prosper. Have the love to see your country develop, even when you are not probably the best. Okay, but by the time 1 million people voted for you, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, or probably 100,000 as an MP. Okay, let's say 100,000 were the actual votes that you got. For people, and maybe you have extra 50,000 that we don't know where it has come from. That 100,000 has seen vision in you. You see, I can give you money, but it doesn't guarantee that you will vote for me.
Yeah.
But by the time I give you money, or I don't give you money, and you still vote for me, it means you see something in me. You get my point? So it can never be a people problem. Everywhere in the world, wrong people are voted into power. But change is imminent. Okay? So, as the leader, or as leaders, or as people holding positions, because if, for example, certain positions are voted for, you know what positions are not voted for?
Yes.
Positions that actually are of influence. But because of bureaucracy, you cannot have a say on them. Those are some of the people that are coming up and failing to do their tasks. You cannot blame that on the people. Okay? You blame that on the people that put these people in those positions.
Okay.
Yes.
But do we even have the power as Ugandans?
I don't think so.
Then what do we do? Because you said you could talk about a vote, and some people do not believe in the vote. They feel it's just ceremonial or a process. You know, so where do Ugandans go? Because at the end of the day, this is their country. How do we hold leaders accountable?
History has it. You cannot keep oppressed people oppressed forever. Even the biggest and the longest of reigns of kings. For example, the French, King Louis was the 16th king. You know what that means?
Yeah.
And kings live until they die.
Exactly.
But it came to a point where one mistake, a wife spoke and said, if you can't afford bread, buy cakes. And it's fucked up like that. You can never know. What Ugandans need to do is keep doing what you're supposed to do for now. Change is a force of nature. Okay, so even when power doesn't belong to us today, there are days when it belongs to us. Those days are not far from today.
Okay.
We just have to literally keep ourselves vigilant and not give up entirely on our country.
There is an alternative government. One would say shadow government, a government in waiting if anything happened. If you are to put a spotlight on those people, how competent and different are they in making Uganda better?
You see, the biggest strength you can have as an alternative government is having resonance with the general public. Having the same language you speak as the general public. Competence is not measured because you cannot measure how a shadow minister for
Okay, how ready are they to take power? Let me ask it in that way.
You can never be ready to take power. No one ever was ready. But by the synthesis of how people have received you, okay? You see, there's what we call on-job training.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they will be training on the job, but experience and learning never ends, okay? And when you have public trust, primarily, it beats any other odd. So you wanted to tell me, I don't think if this is what you mean, but is our country the way it is because the people that want to take the power are not ready? That is not the case.
It's not them, yeah.
It's not the case. And you cannot know whether they're ready or not.
No one says that they internally they are practicing the same things they are fighting or the same things they want to fight.
You cannot prove that. Not everything that comes through the media is right. And basically what I want to look at is you benchmark, okay? Benchmark the people in power, see where, and you see with power struggles, you are opposing, and the people that you're opposing are equally not settled. They're not alone. Like they're not letting you do what you do.
Of course, they don't want to give you the power.
Yeah,
also.
they want to try and push certain sentiments in the public. Okay, but no one is.
No, but there are some sentiments that are not pushed. You see them. You see them, and you say, isn't this a repetition of the same problems we are having as a country?
You see, if that is the case, whereby we think that we must first get someone that is entirely pure of such inconsistencies, we may never get. Even you, Edgar, if you're offered the opportunity today, you do certain things that probably would be like the previous person did the same.
Yeah.
You get my point? But there is change in mode of operation as administration, really. And sometimes fresh waters are what an animal needs to get bigger.
Exactly.
Okay. Probably the stagnated water has lived there for too long and it has lost all minerals. But it's still water in the long run. You get it? Yes.
Thank you so much. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want to ask you rather a personal question. What do you think about the leadership of your uncle, Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentammu?
I have no comment to that. I, for one, I strongly believe that by the time he had that change, yeah, there's a reason as to why he made that change from what he was to what he is today. Yes. And you cannot judge him right now. Probably wait until he takes power. So I don't think I have the right answer to your question.
Are you sure he's going to take power? Because he said wait until he takes power.
Leadership comes from God. Yeah, so none of us knows what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, but some of us do, as the
Lucky for you.
say.
Tell
The
me what
believers say,
happens.
you know, tomorrow is going to be better than today. So as we come to the end of this particular conversation, if the system called you, because I know right now you're a leader in making, that's beyond reasonable doubt. Many people have been in the position you have been at, and where they are right now, we can see. So if you were called to serve with the state or the government, how would you deal with that scenario?
I want to serve the people.
Yes, through government.
I want to serve the people. My biggest objective is to, first of all, satisfy my role as guild president, primarily. Okay, we have elections next year. You don't know who will be the president unless you know. You'll have to explain
How you know?
how you know, why you know. I do not know. Unless you're telling me to go and serve for 4 months.
No, if you're appointed really in the system, would you serve?
Let's see what happens. The Lord is my shepherd.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yes.
Would you give us your parting shots?
Thank you. It's been an honor speaking with you. Maybe my biggest message out there is to people should objectively look at things. Okay, have an objectivity in how you judge certain events. Have an objectivity in how you treat people that you think are of influence. Okay, and we're not so far from where we are supposed to be. It's just we are failing to do what is required of us to get where we want to be. So worry not, brighter days are coming, and it is our generation that shall realize some of these changes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You inspire many out there, and what you're doing right now, you may not, I think you see it, but you're sowing seeds for the future.
God above
thank
all.
you so much for leading this great institution.
Sure.
It's not also an easy thing to do. It's a privilege and honor. So, and for us as Digital TV, we are happy to have heard from you.
Sure.
And we are on record on this particular issue. So, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.
It's a pleasure.
And our viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. You can please subscribe at the Alternative Uganda at Digital TV. Every time you subscribe, we get to have many people on the algorithm, and we get to even bring you better guests. That's why we even have Mr. James Church today. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Face the Nation. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. I'll see you again next Friday at exactly 5 p.m. We're always here having a conversation with Uganda. From the entire team, God bless you and good evening.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.